22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. 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 And are not afraid to say it.
I have my first guest. He is a black author. His name is Derrick M. Guest. And we're going to bring him in right now. What's going on, my brother? How are you?
How are you? Good evening.
I'm good.
Top of the evening to you.
I'm good. And let me first say, so, a little housekeeping, a little rearranging. We rescheduled. My brother was originally on to get a full-fledged interview today, but since we had the FBI agent thing come on and the thing with the movie and everything, and that timely, we're going to do a little snippet of him today. We're going to introduce y'all to him, and we're going to bring him back next week when we give him the proper attention. But right now, you got a book out right now. Yeah. Tell everybody about the book, the name of the book, about the book, and all that.
Well, the name of the book is Opportunity Knock Next Door, My American Dream, Becoming a Successful Man. And as you said, my name is Derrick M. Guest. And it's basically a book about an underdog story. It's a memoir about my life growing up in the South Bronx. Talking about, my upbringing. My father was an alcoholic. My mom, who was a very religious person, but also hardworking. My father was also hardworking as well. But growing up in the era of the crack epidemic, violence, growth of hip hop, basically molded me into who I am today.
No doubt. Now, I didn't want to interrupt you, but every time somebody says South Bronx, I would say South Bronx, South Bronx. I want to interrupt your flow real quick. So
that's right.
I held back a little bit, but I still had to get that out though. So you're from the South Bronx. You currently live in Yonkers.
I currently live in Yonkers.
Right?
Yeah, that's correct.
I said that because Lorraine is from Yonkers. That's why I said that, so she can reference you.
Exactly.
She holds Yonkers down.
in the house.
That's right. And it's a stone throw away. She holds Yonkers down.
Huh?
I said it's a stone throw away from the Bronx. So
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So what inspired? First off, is this your first book? I don't know. I don't remember. This is your first book?
Actually, it's my second book.
Okay.
First book, my first book was called "If You Build It, You Built It, but They Ain't Coming," right? Which basically was a small business book for small businesses who wanted to, marketing. That's my background.
I like that.
Yeah,
you build it, but they ain't coming.
Yeah, but they ain't coming. You remember that Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. So that was a kind of a takeoff of that. You built it, but they ain't coming. Yes. Right. So it was my first book. In this book, what inspired me is young people. I'm also a teacher, I teach. I've taught adults as well as now I teach in public school, and I wanted to inspire those who came from the same places that I came from. You know, South Bronx, poor neighborhood. I was left back twice in school. Um, I had learning disability, still got learning disability, but I was able to overcome those challenges. Now I have 3 degrees. I've traveled the world. I've spoken at multiple conferences. I've been in all kind of newspapers, magazines, and this is not bragging. This is just to say what's possible. If it's possible,
yeah.
if it's possible for me, then it's possible for you. No matter where you come from, what your circumstances are, it's possible. And that's all I wanted to do is put out a book that would inspire somebody like me, who had these challenges and said, man, if Derrick could do it, maybe I could do it too.
No doubt, no doubt. Now you share something with my brother, Dr. Bob, who also resides in Yonkers right now, but he is also a teacher. He's a professor at Bronx Community. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Bronx Community College. That's right. That's not too far from where I used to live. I used to live on Clay Avenue. My mom still lives not too far from there. I know you guys are on the west side of the Bronx, but that's not too far from where I live. I went to Taft High School. I actually got kicked out of Taft. I got kicked out of Taft High School. Eventually went to, and that's in the book too. I went to Taft High School and then kicked out of there, and eventually went to City High School where I got my high school diploma. And eventually, I went off into college, got my associates, bachelor's, master's, and was able to kind of build my education, build my professional career up, professional reputation, and homeowner now, married 20 years. So again, it was just about telling my story and be able to share with people and be able to inspire them, and also being able to a playwright. I also I don't know if you guys are familiar with Negro Ensemble Company. But I actually wrote a play for them called Choices. Started out interning for them and eventually became a playwright for them. And for those of you who don't know what a who the Negro Ensemble Company is, Denzel came through there, Samuel Jackson. They've done plays like Soldier Story, The River Nigel, on and on and on. So they're very historic in the Black community as far as, and it's funny because Douglas Turner's Ward, God rest the dead, just passed away. That was the original founder of the Negro Ensemble Company.
Okay. So you got your book out now. Where can people pick up your book? Is it on Amazon? Is it on your website? Where can people pick you?
You definitely pick it up at Amazon.com, Kindle, Google Play. If you're in the New York City area, you can go up to Sister Uptown Bookstore. Shout out to my sister Jennifer, who always shows me love. So the books are in there. Also an Urban Reads bookstore in Baltimore, if you're out in the Baltimore area. So basically, it's pretty easy to either, if you want an ebook or you want a hard copy, you want it mailed to you. And you can also find me on under Derrick M. Guest, the Storyteller, on Facebook, Instagram, as well as on LinkedIn, if you want to look me up.
No doubt. We encourage everybody to go check out the book. Trying to think, because I want to save this. We're having you back next week, and we're gonna give you this is like the teaser. You know what I'm saying? So I won't give it all away just yet. You know what I'm saying? And my man, he did what some of the guests do. Like, he promoted the show and everything. We got the call, I'm gonna have to push you back. He was like, so we had to give him a little teaser because everybody's expecting to see him today, and we're gonna give him the whole interview next week. And I try to be fair for everybody. Bob or Lorraine, do you have any questions for him right now?
Go ahead, Derrick.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
Go ahead, Lorraine.
Derrick, we already got people commenting saying you was an awesome teacher. What subject did you teach?
My specialty, I have a media background, so I've taught media in college, but I also have in public school. I've taught English and social studies. Nice. And I'm kind of leaning towards social studies, kind of becoming a favorite of mine. I didn't think I would be somebody as interested in history as I am, but it's very fun to teach it to the kids. I'm currently teaching 7th grade, which is an experience in itself. Yeah,
absolutely. I can imagine, Dr. Bob.
So Derrick, firstly, let me say kudos to you, brother, for being able to write 2 books. I got to tell you, AJ's going to say, you know what? We're waiting for Dr. Bob's first chapter in anything. how difficult it can be to be a productive author. And so maybe in your later appearance, you'll share some of your secrets
for definitely
being a productive writer. But maybe as a way of kind of teasing your discussion with us on the next show, I wanted to ask you about the title for your first book.
Right.
I built it, but they ain't coming.
Right.
And something tells me that is freighted with a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
About the nature of some of the challenges that Black businesses by people of color are confronting. And I thought maybe you just share some of those insights, with us as a way of starting this discussion.
Well, as I said, that my background is in media and marketing. I went to film school in Brooklyn College, and then eventually, once I owned my own company and wanted to start doing video, I found that in the business I had to promote it. And found out that in order for people to kind of, know who you are, what you're doing, just like, AJ said, you got to put the word out. The original inspiration for the book was there was a young lady when I used to live in Harlem who lived downstairs from me who owned a nail salon. And what she used to do is put out that little sign in front of the store. But she didn't have any social media. She didn't have any kind of advertisement to let anybody know. And she's Black owned nail salon. Think about that, right? Black owned nail salon. What I want you to think about that is most nail salons, at least in urban areas, are usually not owned by Black people, right? And rarely owned by people of color. Usually they're owned by Asian folks. Well, they are people of color, but they're usually owned by Asians, right? They usually dominate that industry. And if you're Black owned in a Black area, you should definitely be putting out the word that, hey, I'm here, right? And she didn't do that. So the idea came from her and talking to her and saying, man, I need to put something out to kind of, share with my folks that, look, yeah, it's great to own a business because we all want to do the operation part and all of that. But you got to put the word out in order for people to know that you're there, right? For the word spread, So that's what that was about.
Well, I mean, it's a nice reminder to us all.
Yeah.
There's more to owning and operating a successful business than just creating the product. And I think you're saying we got to pay as much attention to the marketing and the customer, effort to generate clients, customers as anything else.
Yeah. It's basically, just like word of mouth. Word of mouth is basically marketing. I mean, and if you can't get that word of mouth going, it doesn't matter how good a show you might have, how good a product you might have. If nobody knows, then, they're not going to come. So you may build it, but they ain't coming, right?
I definitely can relate, and Bob and Lorraine can tell you. Everybody jokes I don't sleep, I just nap because I'm when I'm not writing and distributing the paper and laying it out, I'm sitting there marketing and doing the social media, advertising and all that. So it's like you have to, if it's your business, you have to be willing to put all into it. Nobody's going to put more into your business than you are, right. And I think that's the biggest thing with that. So if you just going through the motions, everybody who might support you and want to help you, they're gonna go through the motions too. They're not gonna work harder than you for your own business. No. So I definitely love that title, and I'm gonna have to go back and get that and read that because that's we try to make sure that they do come. So that's why I don't sleep right now. So yeah.
Yeah, and we can't make money if they don't come.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say you can have the dopest show and the dopest newspaper, but nobody see it and hear it. Is it really,
No.
Now, what I want to do right now, because I want to cut this clip, and send it to you tonight or tomorrow so you can use it as promotion for the week. I want you to end by giving everybody doing your promotion for next week. Like check me out, you know, something you can share on the internet.
Yeah, so definitely come check me out next week on Black Westchester Magazine Radio. And next week, hopefully, we'll be talking more about the present book. I would love more to talk about marketing and different things of that nature. You know, I'll even take questions from those who, you know, may want to, you know, want some tips on how to get some of this stuff done. You know, that should be fun.
Right.
You'll get questions.
So next
You'll
week
get questions.
Yeah.
Right. Next week we're gonna have this brother back. I want to say on the air, yo, I appreciate my man for being flexible because tonight was his night. You know what I'm saying? And he's making room for us to do to have the time for the Frank interview. So he will be back next week. We'll be way more in depth. We can talk about his books, his current book, his former book, and we'll get into he has another business too, and we can talk a bit about all of that. So we're gonna do that next week. Derrick Guest, I appreciate you for being flexible, my brother, and we will see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, Derrick.